If you ever get an agent that says, I just do it because I love showing homes and the money means nothing to me, they're a liar. Find an agent that is engaged in the business. Find somebody that cares about you. Find an agent that knows what they're talking about. Find an agent that's got experience. Real estate agent, real estate broker, realtor, what's the difference? Hi, I'm Damon Gutierrez with Damon Gutierrez & Associates, brokered by Real, and today I'm going to explain to you the difference. All states are a little different. In Virginia, a real estate agent is a licensee who has taken the minimum amount of classes to pass the licensure class. Then they took a test, state of Virginia exam, passed that exam, then they applied with fingerprints and background check to the state of Virginia to get a license. Once they do that, then they are a real estate agent. They have a real estate agent's license. So you have to take the class, take the test, pass that test to pass the class, take the state test, pass that, fill out your fingerprints, do a background check, pay the fee, you're a real estate licensee. To be a real estate broker, you have to be a full-time real estate agent. Full-time is classified as 40 hours a week. So a real estate agent can help people buy, sell, and lease property. They can work with buyers or sellers. So a real estate agent can do all the functions. To qualify to be a broker, you have to have been a full-time real estate agent, 3 years, 40 hours a week. A broker or brokers, whoever you work for during that time frame, has to sign off that you were indeed full-time and that you've been full-time for 3 years. Sometimes it's one broker, sometimes it's two, sometimes it's three. It depends how many places the agent worked, how long they stayed there. So 3 years, full-time, signed off by a broker. Then they have to take a class. It's 160 hours of class to get a broker's license. Then they have to take the exam. The exam is, I think, it's either 10 or 15 questions more than the salesperson's exam, but it's pretty much the same exact exam as the salesperson's exam, which that was much to my chagrin when I took it. And I was like, I already took this test. Pretty much the same test, but it has 10 to 15 more questions. The biggest difference is you have the experience component, 3 years full-time, and you have the 160 hours of classroom, which if you think about 160 hours, that's 1 month of classroom, 40 hours a week, 4 weeks to get that license. With the brokers, they can do the exact same thing a real estate agent can do. They can represent you on buying, they can represent you on selling, they can do leasing, they do all the same things. On a principal broker is different than a broker. A principal broker, that's the broker in charge of the company. Whatever company you're dealing with, the principal broker would be in charge of that company. Okay, so you have your agent, then you have a broker, and a broker's license, and if you're not the principal, it's an associate broker. So let's just say you work for Smith Realty. You can be an agent, you can be an associate broker, you have your license, your broker's license, but you're not the principal broker, so you're an associate broker, which mainly means if your broker makes you mad, you have the ability to leave and go do whatever you want without him. Then you have another thing that's called a supervising broker, and the supervising broker might be over an office. Let's just say that the principal broker was in Richmond and he's over all the little agents and brokers in Virginia, but then there was an office here in Roanoke, and the supervising broker could be over this office in Roanoke, whereas the principal broker's off over the whole state. I know what you're asking. So what about a realtor? What's a realtor? I thought a realtor was a broker. Or I thought a realtor was a real estate agent. They are, they can be, they cannot be. So all a realtor is a professional designation. So many real estate agents are a member of what's called the National Association of Realtors. The National Association of Realtors has done a lot to protect the industry over the years. The advantage of being a member of the National Association of Realtors is that we have a code of ethics. And the code of ethics means it dictates in writing how real estate agents that are members, that are realtors, it dictates how we have to interact with the public and how we have to interact with each other. It keeps it more professional. If you're not a real estate agent or not a realtor, I don't want to say if you're not a realtor, there's no code of ethics dictating how you interact with the public or how you interact with other agents. Picking someone who is a realtor means that you're picking someone who does subscribe to a code of ethics. They do subscribe to a formal written declaration of how they're going to treat you fairly and honestly, and how they're going to interact with you, how they're not going to misrepresent facts to you, how they're going to work with another agent, and how they're going to carry out their duties as a real estate professional. So you might be asking, why does this matter to me? What does it mean? It can mean a little or it can mean a lot. I don't want to give you a iffy answer. It depends on the agent. And I will say this, find an agent that's got experience, find an agent that knows what they're talking about, find an agent that is engaged in the business, find somebody that's full-time, find somebody that cares about you and what you're looking to accomplish and your timeline. Sometimes that can be a brand new agent. Sometimes it can be an experienced agent. If someone's more interested in talking about them than you, it's probably the wrong person. If someone asks a question of you and then dives deeper, asking more and more questions, getting deeper, going through the layers of your situation, that's probably somebody that has a genuine interest in helping you as an individual, and that's probably who you should deal with. I've met agents that have been in the business 6 weeks that do a phenomenal job. I've met agents that have been in the business for 60 years that do a horrible job. I've met brokers that did an incredible job. I've met brokers that I have no clue how they got their broker license. I would tell you that you need to talk to agents and find out if they're looking for a commission check, which we're all doing this for a living, but are they looking for a commission check, or are they looking to help you get what you want to get their commission check? And that's what you want. Someone that's helping you find what you want, helping you get what you want, and in the meantime, they'll get paid. And that's the person you want helping you. So questions you might want to ask when hiring a real estate professional, are you a licensed agent, a broker, a realtor? Like, what are you? More to get them talking and see if they can explain what they are than anything. How long have you been in the business? It's a pretty good question. More important question would be, how many homes have you sold? Another important question would be, how do you work? Like, what do you do on your days off? Or what if a property pops up when you're off and I need to see it? That's probably a little bit more important question, meaning what kind of support system do they have to their business? Do you work independently or as part of a team? That goes to that support structure. Do they have someone to help them when they can't? Because look, everybody has something going on. Everybody's got kids in sports. Everybody's got a significant other. If they don't, they're looking for a significant other. And if they don't have one and not looking for one, they're just getting over one. Everybody's got their stuff. So how are they going to help you when their stuff's going on? And that's what you want to find out. Like, what's your backup system? Like, if you can't, who can? And if they say, oh, I'm always available, you got a problem, because no one's always available. If they're always available, they're probably never going to answer the phone when you call. That way they can't say that they weren't available. And then what sets you apart in your field? You're going to ask an agent, what makes you different? What makes you different than the other, 1 million real estate agents out there? Why should I pick you? What's different about you than everybody else? And there's always something different. And it better be that they care about you. It better be that their goal is to find you the house. And look, if you ever get an agent that says, I don't do it for the commission. If you ever get an agent that says, I just do it because I love showing homes and the money means nothing to me, they're a liar, okay? Just telling you that for a fact. They're doing it for a business. And if they're telling you that, they just do it for the love of doing it, they don't care about the commission, they're not being truthful with you on day one, and I would be cautious. Everyone's doing it for a living. Yes, we enjoy our job. Yes, we enjoy helping people. Yes, that's what we want to do. And I tell my agents and I preach to my agents over and over and over and over again, if you care about the client, if you keep the center of your focus of getting the client what they want, then you will get what you want. Us getting paid is a result of you getting what you want, okay? That should be their focus. But if they say, I just do it, I don't care about the commission, I just do it because I love doing it, they're not being truthful with you on day one. They probably won't be truthful with you on day 31. Hopefully this cleared up any confusion or questions you might have had about the difference between an agent, a broker, and a realtor. If you have more questions, please comment below. Please like, follow, ask questions, and share. If you want a more interactive experience, please follow our Facebook page, Real Estate Success Cast. We look forward to seeing you there. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned for next time. Bye.